everyone, Zell here, and today we're back in Destiny, and we're going to be talking about the weekly update Bungie posted on November 7th. Yes, yesterday. That was yesterday. And it had a whole bunch of really cool things about it, and I want to talk to those things about you guys who are interested in what's happening in the Destiny community and the updates which Destiny are taking to make the game better for us in one way or another. So, there's two parts that they wanted to talk about, things that they've already mentioned and things that they haven't mentioned, being the bulk of what they wanted to mention. I said mention a lot of times there, and I should actually try to find some more words. I should, but it's okay. It's over. The other thing is that they said that these things were going to be coming up in the near future or soon. Always take that with a grain of salt, because there's a lot of things that these developers have to do to bring us an amazing game. And us getting hyped over one thing that might be a little bit later down the line rather than, right in front of us is okay. These things will come eventually, or they're having the idea of bringing these in, and if they're a bad idea, they'll realize it and not bring them in. And if they're a good idea, they're going to probably push it so it comes in a little bit sooner so people are happy with it. Because that's their idea. That's what they're going to be doing. They're bringing us a game that we find a lot of enjoyment in. So now that that's out of the way, let's get started talking about these things. The first one is they're looking at a way to create a chat or a channel of sort so we can matchmake better rather than looking for like LFG.com or, all those people who just find a level 30 in the tower. Hey, you want to do the raid? Because we all know that those 30s love that attention. My friends and myself even, when I'm a higher level character, I actually put some gear on to make myself look like I'm a 25 to 27 so I don't get bugged. Just saying. Now, the other thing that we're going to be looking at is exotic weapons that are more exotic. They're going to be more interesting when you're upgrading, and they're going to feel stronger. They're going to actually feel like they're exotic quality rather than legendary, because currently, legendary and exotic quality weapons are pretty much the same except in their special traits. But as for damage is concerned, there's nothing great about a legendary, and there's nothing really great about an exotic except if its trait is super good, like the Galahorn, per se. Like, that trait is ridiculous. And there's a few other weapons like that, but there's not much difference except that you get 1 gold and 2 purple. And you just had to mix-max them to get them however you want them and get the best out of them. But we're going to actually see the reason for keeping exotics like being the main point of our build, rather than making sure we bring our best legendaries and then a decent exotic into the playing field for whatever we're doing. Now, the other thing on the other side of that is that we're going to have a little bit more legendary something or other within the gear as well. I don't know if that's within stats or looks. I really hope it's within looks, because I want my exo to stand out from the crowd of exos. I want my friends human to look a little bit more dapper than everyone else's human, and I want that awoken to feel like they've really woken their inner swag of some sort. Because we all know that standing out from everyone else is a really important thing when you have a multiplayer game. You want to feel unique. You want to make your character your own. And it's hard to do that when everyone's wearing the same exact thing, even if you do get a few different shaders here and there. The last thing that they mentioned that they have already mentioned beforehand is that which waits in the dark below. Now, we all know that that's going to be coming up in DLC, so we're going to skim over that because we all kind of expect that. Now, there's other things that they haven't really talked about until this weekly update came out, and that's also going to be a very interesting bulk of this conversation. One is that there's going to be new shaders for our gear. And I'm kind of curious if they're changing how shaders work, or maybe the color schemes. Because we all know that Jester Apogee looks amazing, right? And, there's other ones that are out there, but we kind of keep seeing the same shaders come out over and over again because they're the popular ones. So I really hope they do bring out more popular shaders so we have more variety and uniqueness between our characters. There's also going to be a way to preview our gear before we spend money on it, which is going to be cool. I'm not saying necessarily like chest pieces or helmets, but I'm talking about like emblems, I think, and shaders, and seeing how they interact with our character before we really confirm the purchase, so we understand what we're getting into beforehand, because that's the only type of items that I really think we need to preview that we haven't already had access to preview one way or another. There's also going to be a greater chance of public events in public spaces. Now, I don't know if that means that there's going to be more on a timer, or if they're changing their timer technique, or what they're doing, if they're adding more public events to a specific map or all maps in general, so we have more variety, or if they're just going to be on a shorter timer or whatever that timer is going to be, so we see more of them occur more often, so people have more variety in farming. And this would also help within Ascended Shards and Ascended Energy, because we'd be getting more of them from public events. And I really hope that they make public events more of an incentive to do, because we're going to get rewarded out of it, rather than I see a lot of people just not care about them and just skip them. They're unique, but only when you're looking for the first one of the day, or if you're trying to farm those Ascended Shards or Energies, which isn't really that important for a lot of the high-level people anymore, because all their gear is already leveled up. So they don't really get the same benefit out of that. There's also going to be some adjustments to, as they said, quote-unquote, arenas that need better traffic flow. And pretty much what that's saying is they're just optimizing. That's all that is. Then this is a really unique thing that I see here. New economies, this is quote-unquote as well, coming directly from their weekly update. New economies to equip you with upgrade materials. So, I don't know if that means that we're going to be having other ways to buy Ascended materials, like Ascended Shards or Energies, or if we're going to be getting new materials, or new ways to purchase these materials, which it sounds like. Like, are we going to be using spin metal? But it says new economies, so it really, this is a kind of a vague topic, but this could have a lot of cool things in it, and I think it's really beneficial to the game, because more ways to get things, and more things to farm, and more things to work towards is going to keep the longevity of the game going upward, rather than kind of becoming stagnant or degrading. So I really hope that this will be a really cool thing to have happen. A few other things is there's going to be fixes, patches, and other things that we haven't really noticed that are going behind the scenes, and they're going to work on fixing those. This is also going to be including their error codes that they're getting, like things like how they mentioned all the errors that are happening when people are logging in, the random disconnects and certain things like that. They're going to be working on tightening their code, so we don't really have to deal with that much on our end, and they're going to be working towards that, because everyone's been kind of complaining about that, and they are taking incentives to fix those things that we're complaining about, which is great to see. They're also put a few other little tidbits in here, and two of the things that they said, and I'm going to rip these completely from that weekly update, is some other tricks up our sleeve, so we have no clue what that is, but the other one is maybe even a more generous Cryptarch, and then in parentheses, he'll still be sort of a bastard, which means it's RNG still, but we might be able to get better numbers when we're trying to get exotics or legendaries out of gear, because the past 3 legendary engrams that I've had personally, I had 2 armors and a weapon. Both of the armors gave me Ascended Energies, and the weapon gave me Ascended Shard. And I did this on stream even, and like people saw it happen, and I started calling it out because I thought it was ridiculous. Because I got the 2 armors back to back, pretty much, and they were both Ascended Energy, so I was like, this weapon has to be an Ascended Shard. Like, there's no other way about it, and 2 Ascended Shards came right out of it, just to know my luck. You Cryptarch, you silly fellow. But yeah, that's pretty much what the update's about. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about that and give you my opinion on it, and tell me what you guys think, because I'm pretty sure this is a very big thing in the community, and people are going to be very interested in learning about it, and maybe hearing what other people have to say about it. And I'm not saying that my stuff is completely correct, but that's how I looked at it, and I'd love to talk to you guys about it. So, with that, please rate, comment, subscribe, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you want to talk about anything. I'll be sure to get back to you guys. And if you do subscribe, you'll be getting daily Destiny content, along with some other games that are coming out, and other games that I want to support as someone in the gaming community. So, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.